One.
Hey everybody, I'm Scott from Adam.
Okay, so this is for earplugsrequired.com.
I can't look at her.
Look at her. So my last question I ask everybody, first time I ever interview them. Way back when, on the Warped Tour, I interviewed the Damned. And they turned the tables on me by asking me a question right when I sat down to interview them.
Okay.
They had me describe their band in 3 words. So I want you to describe your band in 3 words.
Wildcat. Elephant. Horse.
Okay, which band members, which thing?
So I have to answer that one?
You're the one that gave me those words.
Which band member, which what?
So, do you associate those words with a band member?
No.
Just...
I'm thinking of, we usually have a saying that we tell people when they ask what our band sounds like.
Okay.
It's one of the lamest questions that we feel is out there. So we came up with an answer that's a 20,000-pound wildcat scratching at the back door of your double-wide trailer. So that's where Wildcat came from, and then we were joking around because we want to change that saying up, that we were talking about elephants, and then, I don't know, horse just came in my mind after that.
Very cool. So the band name's Madam now, but that wasn't what you originally were called.
Yep.
Why'd you guys change name?
Well, we started as Against. It's spelled A-G-Y-N-S-T. We all got tattoos, which was a bad idea. Good story, though.
Yeah.
But everybody kept mispronouncing it, calling it Agwines, Angst, you know, all that fun stuff. So we changed it and never looked back. I mean, it's been great for us ever since.
So how'd you come up with the name Madam? Pretty cool because it's a palindrome.
Yeah. I don't know. I like to think of myself somewhat as a grammar nerd, but yeah. We came up with it basically just on the computer. We thought it looked cool, and you know, it's hard to find band names nowadays that isn't that aren't taken, you know. So we just rolled with it. No glory story behind it, unfortunately.
So your CD's finally coming out.
April 5th.
Yeah, it's and I say finally coming out because everything kept saying, "Oh, it's coming out later this year. Oh, it's coming out now. It's coming out now." And as you said as we were walking in here, you guys worked with Skid Mills.
Mm-hmm.
So what'd you learn from him? Because last night I talked to Egypt Central and they worked with him too.
Yeah. Skid's a great guy, man. He doesn't talk much.
Yeah, like we learn how to express ourselves without talking.
A lot of communication through the mind, and we learned a lot from him. We learned, like just structuring stuff, like it's musical stuff. You know what I mean? It's really hard to describe.
How to mind fuck people musically.
Yeah,
because Skid mind fucks a lot.
Oh God.
You don't have to print that.
It's not in print, it's on video. Are you telling me I should edit that out?
That's cool. Whatever, no, it's cool. I think Skid would laugh if he heard me say that. He's a wizard.
Yeah, we
do call him like that. It's very wizard-like.
I think it's good or bad.
No, it's really good.
Yeah.
Like, wizards are awesome. All wizards.
Sorcerers.
Yeah.
Those are sorcerers, right?
Yeah.
Wizards are good, sorcerers are bad.
So
Yeah.
it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So why'd you decide to have it self-titled?
It's a funny story. We actually wanted to name it No Like, No Lot, No Grindle. And you're going to say, what is the hell is that, right?
Yeah.
Well, when we not first started, but we got a storage shed that we would rehearse in. And we found this weird papier-mâché horse that you could actually ride. I mean, it was lifelike, you know, huge. So the storage shed was his stable. So we'd keep him in there, and every time we'd, you know, finish practicing, he had to come out, you know, for us to practice. And every time we finished practicing, it was like calling shotgun. You know, you didn't want to turn off the light of the shed, you didn't want to lock the door, and you didn't want to drag that big-ass horse back into the shed, you know. So after the last note of us playing, you know, it was like, no light, no lot, no grindle. You know, like calling it so you didn't have to do it. But the label felt like that was a bit weird.
Hard to remember.
Yeah, and hard to remember. But then I talked to Lou Brutus, you know, I was talking to him earlier, and he's like, I love that title. I thought it was fucking great.
That title, though. That's Lou.
Well, that's a great story, you know, and the label's like, no, we have to get the name out there. So, self-title.
Yeah, just go with that.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
That's a great story, though.
When your badass name doesn't work, then, okay.
And usually it's like so hard to come up with like some really cool name for an album.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's like naming your child, you know what I mean? It's like,
and you're stuck with whatever it is.
Exactly. So we're going to have to be stuck with damn self-title. whatever.
That's okay.
There's always
Next
record number
album,
2.
you can come up with something even better.
That's right.
Because I don't think you can go self-titled twice, can you?
I don't know. Maybe that's what we should do, to be different.
Be different.
Yeah.
Be different. That's
well, Weezer kind of did that. They did the
Yeah,
color
they did
scheme,
the
you know what I
colors.
mean? But it was always Weezer.
Yeah.
The red album, the blue album, you know.
Yeah, you could do that, but Weezer already did it, so.
There you go. So that's done. Not doing that.
So when we saw you a year ago, oh my God, it's been a year since.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it.
Almost a year since we saw you last April in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
And it sort of threw us for a loop when you did an XC song.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, you want
what's
to
the
talk
story
about that?
behind that? Well, it was funny because, like I said, because we talked to you actually afterwards, because my friend that was with me texted Scott of the XCs in the middle of the song.
Okay.
Because she knows him, and she's like, this is just weird.
Yeah. How do I talk about this? Well...
People don't ask you about it?
No, not really. I mean, I know it's going to come up, but...
Or they don't know it's an XC song.
Well, it kind of is and isn't. What happened was we played with the X's back home, and you know we met them and they were cool guys. And Scott was like, "Look, you know, I'd love to write a song with you." So I flew out to LA. We hung out for like a week, and then from that, you know, These Are the Days was born, and you know it was a co-write between me and him, and it was supposed to be for our band exclusively, and then they were recording a record, and I started getting phone calls about the song. Da 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 da. It's a bit long story short. They put it on their record when they weren't supposed to, and they changed it. The original version is the way we play it, and they changed their version to how they did it. And it's a funny story. Small world in the band community, because we actually ended up writing with their producer on that record, James Michael, and we played the album for him. When that song came on, he turned around and looked at me. He's like, "You're that fucking kid." So, long story short, Scott and I don't really talk much anymore, and I don't know. It's on our record and on their record. Is that good enough?
It's a great song either way.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
It's
Oh, we
song.
love playing it. It's great. It's an awesome track.
It sounds great both ways. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
It does.
So.
It does. It's just so strange because you're like, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we know this song.
Right. Yeah.
You know, we sort of know this song. You know.
Yeah. Well, we got a lot too of like people saying, "Hey, I've heard you on Octane before." Really? Okay.
Really?
Cool. Well, they do now.
Yeah. That's
So.
true. Okay, so my next one.
Okay.
So I want you to pick a tattoo that you have.
All right.
She'll zoom in on it and give the story behind it.
The best interesting story about my tattoos. Okay, I would say this one then, because I got this out the first time we went out to LA as a band. We played this festival, and Matthew and I got tattoos, but I wanted to get this. The bird is a sparrow-tailed kite, so it's indigenous to South Carolina only, and it's basically my motto in life. You have to start somewhere and take steps to get what you want, and when you get there, you have to attack it. So, and fun little fact, it's one of the only birds that eats while it's in flight. So,
Very cool.
yeah,
I like that.
cool.
So if you could pick a band to cover one of your songs, what song would you pick? And what band would you want to cover?
Any band?
Any band?
Do they have to still be around today, or can
No.
they be?
It's whoever you want.
Ooh.
These are
I'd
fun
say
little questions.
Drugs, and I'd want to hear it like Trent Reznor style, 9 Inch Nails, because I love Trent Reznor.
Very cool. He does some cool stuff with it.
He is awesome.
Yeah.
He is awesome. I
It's
love
always
it.
weird to hear people cover 9 Inch Nails stuff. Usually.
Yeah, it doesn't ever really come across. Yeah,
No.
But-
No. I mean.
but hearing him do something like that would be really cool.
That'd be cool.
Because you know he'd put his stamp on it, his spin, which is
It would be a trend song.
yeah,
It would.
exactly.
So I should pick 3 songs by other people and write the soundtrack of your life.
Write the soundtrack of my life. Let's see. I would pick In Bloom by Nirvana. And then next, I would pick... Ooh, I know I'm missing so many good ones. My brain's not working right now. Probably Everlong from Foo Fighters, just because it was there in a special part of my life. And then now, let's see. Ah, man, that's a tough one. Because I know people now, and I don't want to say like, oh dude, your song was like the soundtrack of my life. Shine On You Crazy Diamond, Pink Floyd.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now pick a song by somebody else you wish you had written.
That I wish I would have written. Wow.
There's some amazing songs out there.
Bohemian Rhapsody, Queen. I think that song's awesome. As much as probably everybody is tired of hearing it.
But it lasts forever.
Yeah, I mean, your kids, your grandkids, everybody's gonna hear that
Yeah.
song. You know?
It's used in so many things.
But it's so operatic and just, it's pretty and awesome, and it just takes you through this whole roller coaster ride of emotions.
I've heard a lot of different versions of it, like people covering it.
Yeah, that's a tough one to cover.
Even Emily Autumn covers it.
Yeah, who?
Emily Autumn, she's a violinist.
Okay.
She played with like Gould and some others.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Smashing Pumpkins.
Awesome.
She does her own stuff now. She does like sort of burlesque show.
Okay.
She plays violin and she covers it. It's
Sweet.
just like, whoa.
Yeah.
You'd never think it was something she'd cover.
Interesting. I'll have to check that out.
Last question. So you open up the Rock and Roll Encyclopedia. What do you want to read under your band's name? How do you want to be remembered?
Like a 20,000-pound wildcat stacked in the back door of your double-wide trailer.
That's an easy way out.
But it's a cool answer.
That is a cool answer. I've never heard that one before. I will say that. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you guys.